What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do have to go ahead and apologize ahead of time here. I recorded a ton of footage on stream the other day, but sadly, for some reason, this game just simply does not like when I record while I'm streaming at the same time. I have to figure something else out here because it's not good. So, this footage here is not as crazy as the ones that I got on stream, but I'm going to try to record more on stream. Of course, if you guys are interested, I will be live probably around 12 p.m. Eastern time over on Twitch, Black Ops 6. You guys will find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. I'll try to get my recording software to work a bit better to see if we can actually get more footage. If not, I'm going to have to just record a bunch of footage off stream. But this gameplay is still really solid. I think I did a pretty good job here, kind of showcasing to you guys the overall Black Ops 6 experience between the flow of the game, the new Omni movement, gunplay, time to kill, and just kind of streaking up in the general flow. I think that this right here can showcase to you all just what BO6 is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I want to dive deep into Black Ops 6 for you guys, not really dissecting any of the massive problems, like for example, you know, as we all know, skill-based matchmaking, EOMM, that usual nonsense, which, trust me, yes, it is present, but I don't know. Obviously, it's the first day of the closed beta, but it feels no different than Modern Warfare 3 in its current state. It's just, you know, every time you log into a current day Call of Duty game after Modern Warfare 2019, you should expect this, and we've always said this in the past. We said it with Modern Warfare, you know, 3's beta and, you know, all the others, Modern Warfare 2 2022. It always boils down to being just as sweaty as this. So, although I understand, you know, it's the first day of the closed beta, it's gonna probably expand to be the same thing. So obviously we know about these problems. And of course some other problems might pop up. You know, clearly it's a beta, so, you know, it's to be expected. I definitely need a lot more playtime. I mean, I only had one day, 5 hours. I need at least another day worth of playtime to really dissect the problems to even see if they're, you know, bad, I guess I should say. You know, I need a bit more playtime. I just don't want to, you know, come on here and bash the game completely. But what I do want to do, like I said today, is just kind of deep dive into BO6 and tell you what this game is all about, because simply, I'll be real with you guys, it's painfully average. I'll be real. I have to be honest. It is painfully average. Now, does that make it a bad game? No, not at all. I actually enjoy the experience when it does, you know, throw me some good matches from time to time. And even in the competitive matches, yeah, you know, not too shabby. It's still a fun time, but I gotta be real, it just simply boils down to be, once again, another Call of Duty game. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy the gunplay. I, you know, enjoy the simple Call of Duty flow. You know, it's, like I said, another COD game, but it's exactly that. Another COD game. Everything in this title is, you know, it just feels exactly like every other title that we just recently played. Nothing really too different. Now, is that bad? No, if you're looking for another COD game in a different time period with different weapons and different environments, you know, obviously, that's not too shabby, but realistically, you know, for a brand new $70 game that has been worked on for so many years, like I said, I really don't want to be negative. I don't, because I enjoyed playing this game. I gotta be real. You can go on my stream and see I was having a painful time. I was lagging a lot, a ton. Skill-based matchmaking was pummeling me. It was extraordinarily sweaty. But weirdly enough, I still enjoyed the experience. Weirdly enough, I still had a decent time. But like I said, it's because it's just the Call of Duty loop. The only real selling factor this game had was the Omni movement. Man, and I'll be real, although I enjoyed the Omni movement, and in this gameplay, you can see me use it quite a bit, and, you know, see that it can be useful from time to time. But I'll be real with you, off of this gameplay, I won't even say 9, maybe like 88 to 90% of the time, if you're going to try to jump, you know, to do the dolphin dive and aim and kill, you know, a lot of the time, this game boils down to people holding the same power positions in the same lanes, just like any other Call of Duty game. And although the Omni movement is pretty cool and all, to have this being the newest factor for multiplayer, I don't know how that's going to stick. I truthfully don't. I'll be real. To have that being the bread and butter. I mean, that's all they talk about. The developers, every time they come on camera, that's what they want to discuss. Every time Activision brings up anything about Black Ops 6, it's all about the Omni movement. That is the biggest change for multiplayer this time around. Everything else is just stuff that's being brought back from previous COD titles, which once again is not a bad thing. I have to make that so clear to you guys that I'm not bashing this in any way, because it does play just like a COD game. If you want to play COD with, you know, ramped up skill-based matchmaking and being very competitive, by all means, you know, you'll probably enjoy this. But looking at it as a brand new title that's just running up after Modern Warfare 3, it's just painfully average. You know, like Modern Warfare 3, I guess you could argue the same, but the problem was that we came off of Modern Warfare 2 2022, which was absurdly slow. So to get the freedom that we had in Modern Warfare 3, on top of it being a modern day game, which we haven't gotten a modern day game with that type of freedom because Infinity Ward always makes the modern day games, and we all know how Infinity Ward makes games nowadays. It was kind of refreshing. It kind of felt nice. With Black Ops 6, you know, the Omni movement, I don't think it's going to be enough for a lot of players. And I don't think a lot of players are going to completely abuse it 24/7 because a lot of the time, you will be at a better advantage to once again get a power position and be ready to beam someone. Like, I'm being so dead ass with you guys. I'm not trying to lie or, again, hate. But realistically, just think about it. Someone's going to be dolphin diving out into the open every 5 seconds to try to go ahead and beam you. All you need is a nice head glitch. Beam him out. I mean, you're stationary after you go ahead and land there. Now, I will say, the sliding is pretty interesting because it can kind of zigzag a bit with the sliding, and I do enjoy being able to run sideways and backwards. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, it's still a fun feature to have into COD. And I, truthfully, after playing with it more, and I don't know if I'm going to really settle on saying this. I might change my mind a little later, you know, down the road, but after playing with it more and more and more, I think Omni movement is something that's really solid. Even if you don't want to abuse it 24/7, like I said, dolphin diving all the time doesn't really benefit you, trust me. It's still going to play pretty much like, you know, any other COD game that you played, you know, previously, like Modern Warfare 3, for example. People might be playing pretty similar to that style. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So it's not too shabby. It just gives you a little bit more freedom. And I love that little bit more freedom. But ladies and gentlemen, that right there is your biggest selling factor. That's it. Just a little bit more freedom with movement. That is what's going to buy you into playing the Black Ops 6 experience. And yeah, it will get people in, but it's going to fall under the same Call of Duty cycle. And realistically, I gotta be real, what's really going to dictate the success of this game and my opinion of this title is how Treyarch handles it after launch. That is going to be the deciding factor. Right now, it's painfully average because it's just like any other Call of Duty game. I'll be real. If it came with, like, you know, a ridiculous amount of brand new streaks or something like that to really spice up the multiplayer, that would be cool. But a lot of this stuff, including the Omni movement, seems like it's just, once again, hyper-focused to bring more cool stuff into Warzone. A lot of this stuff will be a little bit more maybe beneficial for a Warzone experience. But again, in 6v6, you might be able to get some casuals that you can pull off a play, or yeah, maybe a good player, you can pull it off on them if you get a really good, you know, position for it. But a lot of good players are going to play COD how COD has always been played in 6v6. They're going to find a good position, they're going to hold a lane, and they're going to get you before you can even, you know, fly out into a dolphin dive. So although, you know, it's very fun to do, it's still, for me personally, just more COD. And it just makes me wish that these games will last longer so I can actually be excited more for these drops because I'm not excited. You know, Modern Warfare 3 had that excitement factor with all, you know, the positive changes after being tortured with Modern Warfare 2 2022. So it felt like people went through 2 years. But after enjoying, you know, Modern Warfare 3, you know, if we had Modern Warfare 3 longer, I feel like the hype for Black Ops 6 would be tremendous, and it might still be there. You know, I guarantee there's tons of people who are loving Black Ops 6 right now, and that's phenomenal. Again, this is just all my personal opinion. I know on the internet people can't handle personal opinions. It pisses them off. They can't, you know, fathom listening to someone say something that they don't agree with. If you enjoy Black Ops 6 and you think it's the best thing ever, that's fantastic. I'm really happy for you. I'm just expressing how I feel. After coming off of Modern Warfare 3, which was already a solid enough game, and coming to this game, which also feels, you know, pretty solid, but very similar, it's just not really anything too exciting for me to really, you know, get hyped up about, you know, especially when it comes to the Omni movement. So, again, don't get mad at me. That's just how I feel. I'm not saying it's a bad game whatsoever. It's just, you know, plain. Not simple, but, you know, like I said, it's underwhelming. Very underwhelming. And again, some might be happy because I know many people just skipped a bunch of Call of Duty games. A lot of people don't even play any of the other titles besides Treyarch games. You know, they might skip Sledgehammer, they might, you know, skip Infinity Ward, and then they'll pick up Black Ops 6. And again, for people like that, I can understand why you would think this game is great. I can understand your perspective 1010%. I'm just sharing my perspective as someone who's been following Call of Duty year in, year out. And, you know, coming off of, again, Modern Warfare 3 into this, it does feel a bit meh. And the best way that I'm going to judge this title to really determine if this is a worthy game is if Treyarch can support it after launch. Modern Warfare 3 came with a ton of things to keep you interested. Weekly challenges and missions for camos and aftermarket parts to change up weapons and make them completely different, basically adding more content into the game consistently all the time, every week. It was always something to revisit Modern Warfare 3 for. I'm hoping that we see something very similar with Black Ops 6. I want to see, if not aftermarket parts, maybe even camos, anything to bring players back into the experience and make them want to play the game. And on top of that, I want to see them interact with the community in ways of, showing that they can update this game correctly. That's all I really want to see. They don't even have to go as far as, like I said, XDefiant, even though I love that communication. I just want to see something similar to Sledgehammer. Understand the game. Act like you actually play it. Don't pull an Infinity Ward and leave the most basic common issues in the game for a whole year. If something is very relevant and everybody's seeing it and witnessing it, either acknowledge it, let people know what's going on, or just simply flat out fix it. I want to see them actually be able to balance out weapons correctly, again, add in consistent content, update the game properly, and if they can handle it, and if they can do that after the launch of this game, I'll say that this game is actually a pretty fun, good game. Minus, of course, the skill-based matchmaking. That's the biggest problem for a lot of people, and I'm always going to have to say that, but I try to judge this game off of two different viewpoints. The skill-based matchmaking is due to Activision. That's not even the developers, so I try to give developers their props, for what they did in the game, because that is completely out of their control. And I don't think devs should be judged, or their work should be judged based off of the actions of the publishers who are ahead of them, right? I think the game should be judged completely separately, and we can also acknowledge, although, if the devs did something good, that skill-based matchmaking is a horrible practice. EOMM and skill-based matchmaking are disgusting, and it's bad for the overall future of Call of Duty. I think we can all agree on that, while also saying that the developers aren't connected to that in any way, shape, and form. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys' opinions are of, Black Ops 6 here. I do apologize for the same gameplay. I had, like, freaking 10 clips, and they're all screwed over now because they all look horrible. So I'm going to try to get some more for you guys. But, of course, if you guys are interested in my stream, I will be live again today over on Twitch. Recording some more and chatting it up with you guys, giving my experience of Black Ops 6. So if you guys are interested, I'll be live at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys can find a link to that down below. And don't forget, guys, subscribe, hit that bell. We're going to be posting here daily about Black Ops 6 and XDefiant. In a perfect world, both of these games can succeed. So we'll see if we can actually see if, these games can succeed on this channel. Who knows? Who knows how the future is going to be for us? But of course, if you guys are interested in the journey, subscribe and hit that bell, and you'll be able to stay up to date with all the content posted on this channel. But as always, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.